welcome into an edition of Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you live from the Lee Company studio here in Murphy Center in Murfreesboro at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships. So glad to have you with us. Thanks to Jones & Lang Sporting Goods for sponsoring our coverage from right here at Murphy Center. So glad to have you with us. We got a great show lined up for you, and I'm on FaceTime with my daughter, so, you know,
Tell Charlie I said hi.
Charlie, what's up? We love you. Yes, we do. And we're so excited about today's show. We've got CADEN Anderson coming to you from Martin Luther King. His team is going to be playing at 4:30 today. So we'll talk to him ahead of his game. We've got a lot of great games today, so looking forward to getting to all of the information that we have, sports news. But before we do any of that, Mo, what's up?
It's Wednesday? No, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is we spent all day yesterday thinking it was Thursday. And
yes.
So it's Thursday and we're at the Glass House. So life is good.
Couldn't be much better. Could not be much better. We're so excited. You know, this is a lot of fun. Last night we got a chance to be here pretty much all night long. Sans a quick trip to Slick Pig, which is always a good thing.
Yes.
But, you know, the last game of the night, McKenzie and Chattanooga Prep, thought that was a really good basketball game. I mean, not Chattanooga Prep, McKenzie and University School Johnson City.
Yeah,
that's right. 4-point game going into the fourth quarter. Johnson City pulled away late. They really shot the ball well. Yesterday was a good day of basketball. It's going to be another good day today. Had some good games already. Coming up at 2:45, Giles County and Power Center out of Memphis coming your way. But we'll get you the full schedule here in just a few moments. Got a lot to get to today. Obviously, it's the start of March Madness. The bracket play has started. And Tennessee, Louisiana tonight at 8:30 is going to be very interesting. We get a chance to do some wild and wacky, so we might do that depending on how many folks stop by today. We've got a lot of folks who are in the building who might just pop in at any given moment. So you never know who might get a microphone today.
Exactly. We might get ambushed by a couple of folks, but we're trying to be ready for it. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to see who we can drag in or who just shows up. You know?
This is some interesting music choices here.
It is. Yeah. It has been all week.
Little the Chicks. Gotta love that. All right. Well,
unless you don't. Gotta love that. We'll just leave it there.
All right. We're gonna take you to yesterday's results and today's schedule and get you the rundown.
This is the rundown.
High school basketball action from yesterday here at the TSSAA State Championships. In Class 4A, Independence defeated Blackman 66-34. It was Memphis East downing Dobbins Bennett 60-51. In Class 1A action, Chattanooga Prep defeated Fayetteville 57-49. It was Hampton 71, Humboldt 48, Middleton 68, defending state champion East Robertson 58. University School of Johnson City 66, McKenzie 53.
A pair of defending state champs go down yesterday, Dobbins Bennett and East Robertson.
That's
so
right.
We'll have new champs in
1A.
I don't know about 3A, but definitely 2A because East Nashville's not here.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1A and 4A. So I don't know about 3A. I literally have no idea who won 3A last year. I could not tell you. Anyway. Let's go down to Gulf Shores for a lot of these. And Gallatin down Bartlesville, Oklahoma, 6-5 in baseball yesterday. Beach defeated Lebanon 4-1. Knoxville Catholic 12-2 over BGA. It was Giles County 7. St. Michael of Alabama 4. Good Pasture 14-3 winners over Tullahoma. Lipscomb Academy 11-6 over Hendersonville. Hendersonville did beat St. George's 11-1. It was McGavock 6, Hillwood 3, Hume-Fogg 8-1 winners over Hunters Lane, and John Overton a 1-0 winner over Stratford. Laverne took a pair from Jackson Northside 9-6 and 10-6. Hillwood 6-2 winners over McGavock. CPA defeated Noble of Oklahoma. Boy, Tennessee and Oklahoma is whipping Oklahoma right now. Mm-hmm. Come on. 4-1 the score there. Gallatin 4, Olive Branch, Mississippi 2. I know where that is. To drive through there anytime I go to Memphis from my parents' house. Rockville 16, Page 14.
Sounds like Rockville went for 2 and got it, huh?
That's what it sounds like. 11-0 Stewart Sevier County over Liberty Creek. It was Independence 9, Shelbyville 1. Watertown pair wins over Trousdale County 4-0, 10-0, and Fulton down Whites Creek 9-8.
In high school softball on Wednesday, Huntland defeated Blackman. 19-5. Coffee County with an 11-10 win over Eagleville. Columbia defeated Tullahoma 10-2. Columbia Central, excuse me. Oakland with a 2-1 win over Wilson Central. Smyrna defeated Riverdale 5-2. Lawrence County 13, Spring Hill 4 in District 8 3A play already. Summertown continuing to dominate down on the beach, defeating Arlington 4-2 and Hillcrest of Alabama 3-2 in Gulf Shores. Walker Valley defeated Giles County 5-3, and Summertown defeated Walker Valley 8-4. Baseball doubleheader action. Trevecca sweeps Hillsdale 13-5 and 4-3.
Softball action at the collegiate ranks yesterday. Tennessee in Columbia down to Austin P in the Mid-State Classic 6-1. Pictures available on mainstreetmurray.com. Go find them there. Middle Tennessee State right here yesterday. Blank SEMO 3-0. Lipscomb with a pair of 3-1 wins over Green Bay and Eastern Illinois. UAB down to Tennessee State 2-1, and Cumberland with a pair of wins over Mount Mercy 1-0, 3-2. And in junior college play, Montlow State blanked Columbia State at the Mid-State Classic 7-0. NBA action, the Heat 138, Grizzlies 119.
Here at Murphy Center later today, as Chris mentioned earlier, in the Class 2A state quarterfinals, Power Center and Giles County will meet at 2:45. Fulton and MLK, as we mentioned, we've got Caden Anderson coming on here in a bit. His Royals take on Fulton at 4:30 in a Class 3A semifinal game, followed by Ridgeway and Haywood at 6. Tomorrow, Class 4A semifinals, Memphis Overton and Hillsborough at 10, Independence and Memphis East at 11:30, and in 1A, Chattanooga Prep and Hampton at 1:15.
Baseball action today at 2:30, Station Camp, Jefferson County. At 4 o'clock, it's Yukon, Oklahoma, and CPA. Magnolia Heights in Mississippi takes on Columbia Central at 4:30. Also at 4:30 is Fulton at Pearl Cone. Mount Juliet takes on Middle Tennessee Christian at the same time in Riverdale, hosting Good Pasture. At 5 o'clock, Station Camp takes on Dobbins Bennett. Ravenwood has Powell, and Forest is at Summertown at 5:30. Hampshire goes to Perry County, and at 6 o'clock, you can catch Dixon County and Clarksville, Cornersville at Culleoka, Watertown at Jackson County, Richland hosting Huntland, and Tullahoma at home against Siegel.
6:30 starts for White House at Springfield, Clarksville Academy at Green Hill, and Spring Hill at Mount Pleasant. At 7, Mount Juliet Christian faces Chattanooga Central. Beach is at Independence. Smith County goes to Oakland, and Riverdale hosts Centennial. In softball action today, Loretto is at Lexington, Alabama. That's a 4:30 first pitch. 5 o'clock starts for Franklin Road Christian at Clarksville Christian. Lebanon at Columbia. Wayne County at Culleoka. Richland at Mount Pleasant. Perry County at Santa Fe. In the home debut of new coach Kim Hawkins, you can check out Main Street Murray for more on the former Auburn standout taking over the Lady Wildcats. 5:30, Murfreesboro Central is at Community, and at 6:30, Eagleville is at Oakland.
Soccer action, boys, this afternoon or evening. Agathos Classicals at Middle Tennessee Christian at 5, and Webb Schools at Oakland same time at 5:30. Spring Hill will be at Summit, and at 6, it's Buckhorn and Beach. At 6:30, it's Watertown at Community, and at 7 o'clock, First Touch, Sycamore at Greenbrier, Laverne hosting Antioch, Columbia Central at Shelbyville Central, Smyrna hosting Murfreesboro Central, Merrill Heights at Wilson Central, and at 8 o'clock, Dixie of South Carolina takes on Giles County. In women's NIT action this evening, it's Belmont and Ball State. That's a 5:30 tip. Men's action tonight on CBS, 8:40 tip is Louisiana and Tennessee. And NHL play, the Blackhawks are at the Preds, 7 p.m. puck drop on Valley Sports South, and that is your rundown. And what a schedule. I'm really upset about this women's NIT game not being on television anywhere. You can't even put it on ESPN Plus. Like, come on. This is a problem. But NCAA is going to NCAA.
Mhm.
And speaking of, we like to say Met's going to Met, but this is an unfortunate situation that that the Mets and Edwin DIAZ find themselves in. A freak accident last night following a combined perfect game being thrown by the country of Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. Edwin DIAZ, who got the save in that, I guess. I don't know what the score was, but he was the last pitcher on the bump, celebrating with his teammates after the win, and unfortunately come up with a lower leg injury that forced him to be carted off the field. No,
Taken off by wheelchair, injured his right knee in the celebration, and initial reaction is he may miss a large portion, if not all, of the 2023 season. And I'll tell you, as much as I just hate to see this, and I'm by no stretch of the imagination a Mets fan, but you hate to see
or
this.
Edwin DIAZ, considering the situation with he and William Contreras
and Timmy Trumpet, yes,
but you still don't. I mean, especially in this National League East, it's already tough enough. And what does this do to the Mets?
Well, I don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry.
At a time when they really felt like closer was one place where they didn't have any questions, suddenly they have all sorts of questions. And that's tough. Because, again, possibly one of the top closers in the game, and you don't have him. And now you got to figure out, where do we go in the ninth inning?
And you've got to do it in what is probably the toughest division.
Quite possibly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, last year you saw 3 teams come out of this division to go to the postseason. I think the expectations are that will be the case yet again this time around.
2 years in a row,
yeah,
with World Series participants.
So, yeah, it's a tough spot for them to be in.
I just feel like
I will say this: I feel more sorry for Edwin DIAZ than I do for the Mets.
Yes, that is the best way to put it. Last night, the United States, as you can see, I don't know what language this is in, Mo. But you can see the standings for the World Baseball Classic. The United States got the win last night over Colombia, 3-2, and we watched pretty much all of it. We missed the first inning or two, but the World Baseball Classic is worth playing. And a lot of folks were saying, this wouldn't have happened if he was in spring training. Well, the Mets literally practice celebrating in spring training, so it very well could have happened. Okay, let's not pretend it might not have happened. This could have happened anywhere. Someone was saying, play the World Baseball Classic in November. 1, it's cold. 2, we're tired. We just played a 162-game season. What are you talking about? No.
There's no way around it.
It's got to be this time of year or not at all.
And it has to be played. Yeah. There's no reason not to play it. And injuries, I mean, is there a difference if Edwin DIAZ got hurt in the World Baseball Classic in spring training or in the opening game of the season?
No.
And he's just as hurt.
Justin threw up those standings, and as clear as those are, I don't know all the flags. So I'm like, I can tell you the Pool C, folks.
Can you get us something with country names?
But we do know that the states will play Venezuela, featuring one Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah,
in the quarterfinals. Yeah. That's not ideal.
It's not. Oh, there we go. There's a bracket.
There we go. That's what this is now. Now we're cooking with peanut oil.
Justin finally coming through.
Australia and Cuba
have already played.
Yes, that's right. Cuba advanced, and they'll play the winner of the United States and Venezuela.
Ooh.
Italy and Japan, which we know the Japanese take this thing very, very seriously. And then Puerto Rico and Mexico.
Yeah.
Those are
that U.S.-Venezuela game. Go back to that again, Justin. U.S.-Venezuela is Saturday at 6 on Fox out of Miami.
Oh, Lord. And you know Ronnie's going to be like, really?
Italy and Japan play tonight? No, this morning.
Oh, that's right.
So they might be done, actually.
They should be.
Because it was a 6 o'clock Eastern time start in Tokyo. And then
that's 5
Puerto Rico and Mexico play tomorrow at 6 Central Time on FS1. They're playing in Miami. So
gotcha.
The finals are Tuesday, 6 o'clock in Miami.
There you go. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
And it's baseball.
It's baseball, man. It's live baseball at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you want.
Yeah, I don't know that I want, but thank you.
If you're so inclined.
Mm-hmm.
If you're so inclined. Again, we got a great show. We are awaiting the arrival. Did you send the email to Caden? All right, so Caden Anderson should be joining us here shortly. We will effort to get him via text message. And, of course, we've still got plenty of folks who might stop in and drop by. So if you're in Murphy Center, don't drop by today. We'll have to be back tomorrow, though, Mo.
Yes, we will.
Surprise. We have to be back tomorrow because Independence will be taking on
Memphis
East in a semifinal Class 4A game at 11:30. So immediately following that, we'll come to you live from Murphy Center once again. So. All right, well, let's take our first break of the day. When we come back, we'll work on getting Hayden and talk to him about his team's game here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bond and Joint. We'll be back to the Lee Company studio from the Blue Cross Basketball Championships right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller from Mornings on Main Street. Join us March 23rd at Bridgestone Arena with the Nashville Predators for Main Street Media Night. I know Devin O'Day will be here.
You know I will be, Stephanie. Plus, you can register for a Predators Prize Pack. They were going to call it the Hockey Hootenanny, but they changed. So it's going to have 4 tickets and food vouchers. You got to register to win.
We're looking forward to seeing all of our Main Street Sports Today fans, right, Chris?
Absolutely, we are. And we could not do this without, of course, our owner, Dave Gould, and our friends here at Smashville.
Speaking of,
where is Dave?
we will see you March 23rd for Main Street Media Night. Let's go, Prince!
Do I have the wrong night?
This is Chris Yow with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. She's on Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions, and Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang. It is, in fact, Alyssa Lang.
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to lower the bar for guests now.
Oh, no.
Apologies in advance. It sounds like
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
You got that radio voice.
I do.
It's a good sound.
Thanks for radio, too.
As do we.
And then here's the other thing. You guys, you're spot on with the name. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. So,
and we reach every Main Street in Middle Tennessee, Coach.
Yeah, that's it. So
Perfect.
when you are on Main Street and you are moving,
you gotta love it.
Like you're moving. I was impressed.
I'm glad someone. Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you from Murphy Center in Murfreesboro on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships. Coverage provided by Jones & Lang Sporting Goods in Columbia, the look of a winner. Make sure to go see Daniel and the fine folks at Jones & Lang for all of your embroidery, screen printing, uniform, or equipment needs.
Equipment, yeah.
I
mean, we're
if you need
right
a
around.
net, they got a couple basketball nets too. If you ever need one, I asked the last time I was in there.
You asked if they had
sure,
nets,
just to make sure. Chains and nylon.
You know, baseball season at the youth league level getting started up here pretty soon. You might need some cleats or a glove or a bat. You know, kids grow out of all those things.
Catcher equipment.
Yep.
All kinds of great stuff. So go check them out as well. We are in the Mobile Lee Company studio on the road with you here. So glad to have you as we are continuing our coverage from the Glass House. It is Prep Thursday, and we've got a couple of awards to hand out, Mo. So we might as well start it off while we wait on Caden. We can hand out a couple of awards, little hardware here. And we'll start with the Team of the Week presented by our friends at Custom Stone Handlers. CustomStonehandlers.com, 931-490-4990. They proudly encourage young people to get in the game. Contact Ned Rich and the folks there. Great, great folks.
Absolutely.
Are the folks at Custom Stone Handlers. This week's
and friends of high school athletics.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This week's Team of the Week, Mo?
Our Into Win Life Southern Middle Tennessee Team of the Week is the Independence Eagles, following their 46-42 sectional victory last week over visiting Green Hill. Got them back to the state tournament for the first time since 2017. So a big win for them. And obviously we talked a little bit about what they did once they got here. But, yeah, our Into Win Life Team of the Week is the Independence Eagles boys basketball team.
All right, and now to the Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week from Independence as well.
Matt Witt scored a game-high 15 points in that win over Green Hill and was really impactful on both ends of the floor. Had to battle against a couple of big posts for Green Hill and got more than his share of rebounds and defensively helped stymie those guys. So big game for Matt Witt in that sectional victory over Green Hill, and he is our MTBJ Athlete of the Week.
There you go. And now we go to Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Go see Renee Hart and the fine folks out in Chapel Hill. Again, From the Heart Cafe, they've got you covered with breakfast, lunch, dinner, catering. You can order online if you're heading out to Henry Horton State Park. You can stop in on the way in or on the way out. It's certainly worth the trip if you are just looking for a nice little day trip. So go again, Renee Hart and the folks at From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill presenting Coach's Corner each and every week. And this week we have MLK coach CADEN Anderson, who joins us now. Coach, you got a big one coming up today. I know you've got a lot going on, so thank you for taking some time with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate it as well. I got a lot going on, Maurice, so I appreciate the reminder.
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, when I reached out to you, I was not thinking about the schedule, was not thinking that the new tournament schedule with 4 classes really kind of has me thrown. And the fact that you're playing later today and you didn't hesitate to come on with us. And so we really appreciate that, man. But
hey, again, man, a lot of people want to talk about Granddad and this and that. Granddad would have told me, if you're not ready right now, you're not ready. So, yeah, I've got a lot going on, getting the bags packed. You know, I feel like you can't watch too much film, but at the same time, we're ready to play. So I've got a few minutes here. Not a problem at all.
Well, and your granddad would know a lot about that. Former Nashville legendary coach Charlie Anderson, coached at Aquinas most recently, but well known throughout Nashville, and one of the better coaches to come out of Nashville, obviously. And for you to be able to get the Royals back down here for the first time in a pretty good while, obviously, I would think just from that aspect, from a family aspect, has to feel pretty good for you.
It's special, man. It is. It's special. You know, the only thing that hurts, what hurts the most, honestly, is just when he passed away in January. That next season was, last year we won the district championship, we won the region championship, we made the sub-state, and now this year, we're in the state tournament. So I just hate so badly that he had to miss these 2 most successful years that I've had as a coach. But he's smiling down, and but it is special. It is. It's it feels like he's still with us just because he taught me so much, not only as a coach but just as a man, right? I tell my players all the time, if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. And he was just such a good man, great coach, good man, and taught us so much. So his legacy it'll live well and forever. There's no doubt about that, just because of just such a great man that he was.
CADEN, you've got to be really pleased with the way you guys have played over the second half of this season in particular, I would think. Winning 11 of your last 12 games now, coming in here to the semifinals later today against Fulton, including Tuesday's 12-point victory in the quarterfinals over White County. What is it in particular that you feel like you guys are doing well right now that gives you a shot to get into Saturday and bring back that gold ball?
We're defending, man. I mean, we are playing defense, and we're hanging our hat on defense. You got to score points to win basketball games. The team that scores the most is going to win, right? So we obviously work on offense, shot selection, taking good shots, sharing the ball, but we hang our hat on defense. I'm a believer that defense travels, and if you give yourself if you play your best defensive game every night, you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance to win. I talk a lot about controlling what we can control. You can control your defensive effort. We can drop a play to get you a wide open shot. You can't control that ball going in the net, but you can control your defensive effort, your positioning, seeing your man the ball. Man, our defense right now has gotten us where we are, and then just our effort. I mean, how hard these guys play. all credit to them. It's when you got a team that just you don't got to coach effort or inspire effort or motivate them, it makes my job a lot easier. But our defensive intensity and our efforts, what's got us here, and that's what's going to take today and then on Saturday as well.
Speaking on Coach's Corner with Caden Anderson, Martin Luther King Magnet basketball coach. Coach, as you look at this team, obviously we're covering Southern Middle Tennessee, so we don't know a lot about your team. But are you guys older? Do you feel like the experience that you guys had last year and then coming into this year, you've got some guys who are leaders on this team? And who do you look to be those leaders?
Absolutely, man. I mean, last year with the success we had, we only graduated one senior. So we knew, although we might not get talked about a lot, quite honestly, the Nashville scene just yesterday posted a big article about top public and private school in Middle Tennessee, and MLK was number one, followed by Father Ryan at number two. So when you hear MLK, your mind goes right to academics, right? And we are an academic school, and our students, our basketball players are unbelievable students. They are student athletes first and foremost. But yeah, we lost one senior. Now we've got we've got three seniors, two who are starting. We're starting two sophomores, and we're starting a junior. So I wouldn't say we're young, but yeah, I wouldn't say we're old either. We've got that from the 8 guys who are playing, it's sophomores, juniors, and then 3 seniors. So it's actually, to be honest with you, it's a perfect balance of age and grades to be able to be successful this year, but also prepare for the future. And it's great watching them play together. Typically you see teams come together when you've got a handful of seniors, right? You've got 5 or 6 seniors, you get most playing time, but to see a couple sophomores, a couple juniors, and a couple seniors putting it all together as a team, that's real special. And I just couldn't be prouder of them.
Mo, I love that he's got a 6'5" guard and a 6'1" forward. It reminds me, I had a 6'4" point guard at my high school, and my 5'10" butt was playing on the post, so I understand how that is.
So the 6'5" guard you're referring to, and you asked about who's leading us. I've got a 5'3" point guard who is our vocal leader. He's a senior, and then I've got a 6'5" guard who's the exact opposite of vocal, but lead by example, and he's also a senior. So Simeon Williams, he had 24 points, 16 rebounds Tuesday. He's in the last 3 weeks, he's averaged 20 and 10. He's just been taking over basketball games as of late. But he's so quiet and he just leads by example. He's so coachable. If most of the games were 5 out and he's a guard, there's some games like on Tuesday when they put a shorter defender on him, we actually went to 4 out, 1 in and let him work down low on the post just to get that mismatch. But we're kind of all over the place, man, with heights and personalities. But I think that's a beautiful thing. So far it's working.
Caden, you talk about the academic legacy that Martin Luther King Magnet School has, and certainly they do. But it's not like this program is a stranger to the hardwood here at Murphy Center. MLK won state championships both in 1991 and in 1996. Those were the program's only 2 trips to Saturday. So if you get to Saturday, you got to feel pretty good.
Maurice, to be honest with you, no, man, no. I was talking to Dad last night. We were having dinner together, just talking about where we are, what's going on. You guys know, being sports fans and working in the sports media, how hard it is to make it to Murfreesboro. It's so hard. It's so hard to get to the tournament. So once you get there, there's no contentment with getting there. I'm just telling you, there's not going to be there's not going to be smiles on our faces, if we don't bring that gold ball home, because we don't know. Even myself as a coach, I'm going to be like grandfather. I'm going to be coaching here for the next 50 years, and I'm going to coach into my 80s. That's what I'm going to do with my life, and I might not make it back to this moment. So now winning today and getting there Saturday, it won't put a smile on our face until we outscore that team on Saturday. We've got one goal, and we're going to give it our best shot. But we're not happy to be here, man. We really want to give it our best shot, and just make the most of it, because you don't know where this opportunity will come again.
It's funny We just had Green Hill girls basketball coach Joseph Simmons on last week on Coach's Corner, Caden, and he was saying that, you know, it's important to celebrate the victories and to celebrate the accomplishments because they're hard. It's hard to get here. It's hard to win a game here, and you got to celebrate that. You want to be focused on what's ahead and take care of your business and that kind of thing. But at the same time, you want to enjoy the process as well.
Absolutely, and I agree with you there. So I'll tell you this: we don't bring the gold ball home in 2 or 3 weeks when we're having a little get together, you know, postseason banquet. We will celebrate it then, but we'll be pretty upset for the next 3 weeks until that time comes.
Well, simple solution, just win it.
There you go. That's the plan. You're exactly right. That's the plan.
There you go. Just win, baby.
That's the plan.
Caden Anderson, the boys basketball coach at Martin Luther King Magnet School. His team will be playing later this afternoon against Fulton High School out of Knoxville. Winner plays in Saturday's championship game. And Caden, we're sure hoping it's you guys. So good luck. And again, thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right.
That is Coach's Corner presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Special guest today, Caden Anderson. Appreciate him for hanging out with us. It's always always good to get some love to those magnet schools, especially MLK, who they haven't been here in 18 years. So they made it 6 times in a 10-year span.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes to show how hard it is to get back.
Yeah. I mean, every year is a new year. Nothing's guaranteed.
That's right.
You know, so glad to see them here and looking forward to seeing them here later on this afternoon.
All right, we are going to take a break. When we come back, talk a little bit about Tennessee and Louisiana later tonight. It's going to be a good one, so stick around on Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back to Murphy Center right after this.
I'm Stephanie Miller from Mornings on Main Street. Join us March 23rd at Bridgestone Arena with the Nashville Predators for Main Street Media Night. I know Devin O'Day will be here.
You know I will be, Stephanie. Plus, you can register for a Predators prize pack. They were going to call it the Hockey Hootenanny, but they changed. So it's going to have 4 tickets and food vouchers. You got to register to win.
We're looking forward to seeing all of our Main Street Sports Today fans, right, Chris?
Absolutely, we are. And we could not do this without, of course, our owner, Dave Gould, and our friends here at Smashville.
Speaking of,
where is Dave?
We will see you March 23rd for Main Street Media Night. Let's go, Prince!
Do I have the wrong night?
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton coming to you from Murphy Center here in Murfreesboro. Coverage live from here brought to you by Jones & Link Sporting Goods. We are in the Mobile Lee Company studio and glad to be here for sure. Mo, the tournament has started. Tennessee tonight takes on, don't call us Lafayette, Louisiana.
No, don't. They are not Louisiana Lafayette. They are not ULala. They are the University of Louisiana.
Tennessee tonight is an 11-point favorite. The ESPN Analytics matchup predictor has Tennessee with a 94.4 chance to win this game.
I hope they're right.
But it's March.
It's March, and I mean, I guess the good thing is that Louisiana is not Oregon State.
There's that. They are. This is not a Power 5 program, which makes a difference, I think.
It makes a difference, but I don't think Tennessee can let it make a difference.
No. And this is weird. This is a Tennessee team that was 11-7 in conference play, but 12-3 outside of conference, including wins over Kansas, Texas. I mean, you feel like this is a team that has an opportunity to be successful in this tournament, but you're still without your leader. You're without your floor general.
This is not that team.
This is not the team that went 12-3 in non-conference play. It's a team that lost.
It's not the team that beat Texas.
They're 3-7 in their last 10. Now, those were all conference games. But they were all games you probably feel like you should have at least gone 500 or better. And I'm really interested to see how this works because Louisiana led the Sun Belt in rebounds at 34. Now, they've got the big 6'10" kid, and Tennessee's got Euros if they want to match up one-on-one against this kid. You feel like, you would have an opportunity to do that?
I think you almost have to do that.
And
I mean,
but like you said earlier,
you tell Euros you've got 5 fouls.
Use 4 of them.
You use them how you want to. I mean, if you want to go in the first half, that's fine. But I mean, you gotta get that guy out of there. You gotta force him off his spot. You can't let him get comfortable in there, and you just gotta beat on him.
Now, how much does playing at 9:40 at night make a difference? Because you've got all day.
You got all day to think about it. But, I mean, I don't think fatigue is a factor. I mean, as Jim Foster once said, when somebody asked him that about his Vanderbilt women, I mean, you're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds. They don't get tired. We get tired.
Yeah.
But I don't think the time in and of itself is an issue. Now, I do think maybe the run-up to it, like you said, you got all day to sit around and think and be bored and that kind of thing. Maybe there's that. It might be tough to be sharp from the get. But I don't think the lengthy day, other than just the waiting, is an issue.
But that's still an issue, I would think. Wouldn't you? I mean, waiting is an issue. That's a lot. You got a lot of time to do nothing.
Well,
and rest versus rust kind of thing.
I would imagine
but both teams have to deal with it.
And I would imagine there's a shoot around at some point. And it probably won't be early to just kind of break up the day and that kind of thing. I would be fascinated to know, what the schedule is. Do you go over and watch some games? Do you stay away? You can't stay in the hotel all day. You got to do something. Fortunately, it is Orlando. There's plenty to do.
There's that. You could always go to Universal. Go see Mickey.
I don't know how much you want to walk around.
Get you a scooter. They got scooters at Disney? I literally don't know.
I don't know. I've not been to Disney in forever.
Jay Billis picked every game in the tournament. He picks Tennessee in this one. And the upset chances on a scale of, I guess, 3 is 1 glass slipper. So
Tennessee is not 3-7 in their last 10. They're 4-6 for what it's worth. But yeah, it's okay. I'm sitting here looking at the schedule. They beat Ole Miss, they beat Arkansas, they beat South Carolina, and they beat Alabama.
And Alabama was the 10th one?
No, they started. They lost back-to-back. Their last 10 games started with those back-to-back one-point losses at Vanderbilt and against Missouri. They beat Alabama. They lost to Kentucky. They lost at Kentucky, lost at A&M, beat South Carolina and Arkansas, lost at Auburn, beat Ole Miss in the tournament, lost to Missouri in the tournament.
Man, but still, that's
it's not great.
At least, here's the thing. This is one thing that you can say. And based on, and I say this based on the way that those two teams are playing right now, I don't think you can count in Vanderbilt and Missouri. I feel like Tennessee beat the teams that they were supposed to beat. Based on the way Vanderbilt and Missouri are playing right now, they're pretty good. They're probably just as good as Tennessee. So if it's a 50-50, they're a 1-point loss. You know, both of those were 1-point losses in the regular season. Of course, Missouri beat them by 8 in the tournament, but that was without Zakai Ziegler. But otherwise, they've beaten most of the teams you feel like they should beat.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So I feel like this is another one. I mean, if you're talking about teams that you should beat, this is one you should beat. And you feel pretty good if you're a Tennessee fan. Again, I
don't know how good you feel if you're a Tennessee fan, just because you've seen this movie before, you feel like. You're just not going to let yourself feel good.
When is the last time Tennessee lost to a team like Louisiana? I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, last year you get beat by Michigan. Is it an upset? Kind of. But not really. I mean, it was – you're upset if you're a Tennessee fan, but it wasn't really an upset. It's still a Power 5 conference team.
That's a good point.
I mean, I don't know the last time they've lost to a team like this, which means everything is pointing to they're going to lose today. So maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic here, and I'm normally not the optimistic guy.
No, you're not.
I'm not the optimistic fan.
But I do applaud you for turning over that leaf right now.
At least right now.
Yeah.
Now, when the Braves start, forget it. I was looking, and yesterday we picked some upsets. But
hey, before we come off of UT,
okay.
You asked a question last night. I think it was. I think it was from a tweet that you had seen, but how far does Tennessee have to go in the NCAA tournament for this to be a successful postseason?
We said Sweet 16, and I think that's probably as accurate as it could be. I think a second-round loss to Duke, and you feel like, okay, I can, I understand that loss, especially without Zakai Ziegler.
Right.
If Zakai's playing, I think it's Sweet 16 or bust.
Yeah, I think it's a different standard if Ziegler is playing. I think if this team gets out of the first weekend, I think it's a successful postseason.
Yeah. Absolutely.
with everything that they've had to deal with.
It must be a short in it, Justin. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think this team understands that a lot of folks are judging their success based off of what happens in this tournament, no matter what they did this year.
Or no matter who they've got available in this postseason.
Yeah, it's not, beating Texas and Kansas is great, but it don't mean nothing if you don't win in March.
And I think people have said that.
I understand that, too.
Yeah.
Because look, on top, but on the other side of that, on the opposite side of that, Mo, it could be worse. Does anybody remember Tennessee basketball before Rick Barnes? Because it wasn't great. Do you remember the Donnie Tyndall years, anyone?
Oh, I don't know that people do, honestly.
Quanzo had a couple good years. Bruce Pearl obviously had several solid runs, but
I really feel like if people did remember Donnie Tyndall, then they would respond differently to some of the things that we've seen over the last few years.
You got to be in the tournament to win it. And Rick Barnes is going to get you here. Now, what happens once you get here, and I've said this 100 times, the best team in the tournament doesn't always win it. In fact, it's rare that an Alabama runs roughshod through an SEC tournament. The top seed.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen that often. So, especially this tournament, St. Peter's was not better than Kentucky last year. But they went to the Sweet 16.
Right.
Florida Gulf Coast, you think they deserve, or they were better than those teams?
Than Georgetown?
Over that run. George Mason, when they were a 14 seed? Probably not. But in a tournament setting, all you got to do in a one-game situation.
One game.
That
40
being
minutes.
said, if George Mason can do it, why can't Tennessee is a lot of folks' question. And that's a fair question.
That is a fair question.
So, anyway, that's where we sit right now. Again, game tonight, 8:30 Central Time on CBS. But
on
I'm
CBS, that's a good thing. You don't have to find True TV or whatever else to try to find the game.
The best thing that you can do, if you haven't already, if you have a Roku, download the March Madness app. You sign in with your TV provider in the March Madness app, and it just gives you all the games that are on, and you can actually watch them on a fourth screen if you want to. It gives you True TV, it gives you TNT's app, it gives you TBS, and it gives you CBS.
You know what? You just pissed Jody off because I'm going to go home and I'm going to load that up.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be mad.
Yeah, she's going to be mad, but I won't.
No, you won't.
So,
But that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I did not know.
That's
the March Madness app.
Yep. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to find all that stuff. Game times today already underway. West Virginia, Maryland, Furman, and Virginia, Missouri, Utah State, and Kansas, and Buffalo. Who's Kansas playing?
Kansas, is that Buffalo? That's not Buffalo. Who is that?
Kansas has Howard.
Oh, the Bison. Okay.
And then, of course, Bama just getting underway against in Birmingham at the BJCC against the Islanders. That's what we need to talk about. Have you seen this?
Corpus Christi?
Justin, find the Corpus Christi
campus.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi's campus. This place is insane, Mo.
Would not do me any good to go to school there.
Oh,
because I would
because
never
you want to go to
be
school.
in school.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Are you kidding me? Have you seen this, Justin? No, you've not seen it. I can't wait for you to find it. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, I saw somebody say that there are only 3 public schools that are
on a beach,
on islands. This is one of them. Obviously, Hawaii is on an island, but I don't know the other one. I think Manhattan, maybe. I don't know if they're a public school. But I'm just waiting for this because this is the craziest thing. It's coming, right?
It's coming.
I hate that I couldn't put this up early because I forgot about it. But when I first saw it, I thought, this has got to be the worst place in the world to go to school.
It's the worst place in the world to stay in school.
I mean, I would want to stay there. I would want to go to school there, but I would struggle to go to class there. Big difference in going to school and going to class.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. So couldn't find it, huh? You got a Google machine? Here. There it is. Texas A&M CC campus.
Send them that link. Can you do that? That's pretty amazing. That
is not it.
No, that's not it.
This is it. Right.
You had it. That's it. Yeah.
Look at the baseball and softball field over here. Like, I mean, you hit a good enough home run.
It's going to get wet.
Watch out. Yeah. And you've got a private beach over here. I mean, look at this. I mean, there is a literal beach right there.
You got to cross the street to get to it, but
okay.
Still,
yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
It's phenomenal. I could never. I could never.
I tell you what, though, you should be able to recruit there.
You would think. Also, they got a cool mascot. Their mascot is cool.
Oh yeah,
very cool looking. He looks kind of like the Orlando or the New Orleans Breakers mascot from the USFL. He's got that blue color, kind of like Skeeter from Doug, if you remember Nickelodeon back in the day. He's got that nice blue color. So anyway,
yeah.
Let's take a break. We haven't had anybody stop by yet, but we probably should. So.
We are efforting. Speaking of recruiting, we're doing a little.
He's coming.
Who's that?
Wade Neely.
Oh, okay.
Making his way up the stairs right now. So when we come back, Giles County Pulaski Citizen Sports Editor, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Wade Neely, joins us on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick around.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here on this Thursday edition, coming to you from the Mobile Lee Company studio at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships from Murphy Center. Thanks to Johns & Lang Sporting Goods for making sure we were able to get out here and enjoy the week of basketball state championships. We've got a lot of great basketball yet to be played. A lot has been played, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and who knows what else. But looking forward to, we finally got somebody to show up.
Well, we got the elusive Pulaski Citizen sports editor Wade Neely joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Wade, good afternoon.
Man, good to be with you guys. And we were playing a little bit of tag yesterday, but man, it feels good to be back here in Murphy Center. And with all due respect to the teams that have played prior to today, something just feels, maybe it's Fairview's got that big crowd that's rolling in right now. Brainerd's got a good section. Alcoa's got a great group. Just feels like a big atmosphere here today.
Well, and want to welcome you to the family, Wade, to the Main Street Media of Tennessee family. Pulaski Citizen was recently acquired by Dave Gould, his wife Ellen, and brought into the fold here, and happy to have you personally and professionally involved.
Absolutely. And, can't speak enough great things about the opportunity that Main Street gave Pulaski Citizen. That was an institution since 1854, and we were very prideful of that. And the previous ownership had just kind of they couldn't sustain that financially, and the Gould family jumped in, and we are forever grateful for them, me personally and our community. I know the folks in Pulaski are tremendously grateful to be a part of this Main Street Media opportunity, and it's great that I get to kick it with you guys now on a little bit different level than we already used to.
Well, we are looking forward to kicking it with you on a regular basis. So, you've seen this Giles County team. You are intimately familiar with them. What are your expectations for this ball game here in a while against Power Center out of Memphis?
Yeah, I think the real big question mark is, what do we know about Power Center Academy? We know that, they came to this state tournament last year, and they beat Brainerd, who's about to tip off here in a little bit. Gave East Nashville kind of a decent game. There's a lot of unknowns about them from a scouting perspective, at least on my end. But what we can tell you, though, is, Giles County, they come in, they were 6-8 at the end of 2022, and they've won 18 in a row. Something just clicked after Christmas break, and this team has just continued to get better and better. You guys obviously are familiar with first-year head coach Nick Campbell. He's done a great job. Assistant coach Tyler Smith has done a great job, and these kids, they got 7 seniors, 4 of which are starters or a 6-man type role. They just continue to play for each other. And it's kind of a cliche, but you hear it a lot. They don't care who gets the credit. If one kid goes for 20 one night, the other 4 aren't really particularly envious or jealous because they know they're going to have an opportunity. And that has been the fun part to me. And as far as expectations, I think they're excited to be here. But one of these 8 teams, now we're down to, just 7, I guess. One of these teams has got to win this thing, and I think Giles County's thinking might as well be us.
Well, what's really interesting to me about this is, Giles County in the last, 2 years have been to the state semifinals in football. So they got a lot of kids who do know how to win.
Mm-hmm.
And a shot at Alcoa on the hardwood would not be the worst thing that could happen to them, is it?
Yeah, and, funnily enough, that was on our Pulaski Citizen Live broadcast crew. That's something when the matchups came out, before the drawings, I should say, were revealed last week. That was the matchup I think a lot of folks were thinking, it'd be kind of fun to get a shot at Alcoa in the first round and see if you could maybe get over that hump. You got a long way to go in terms of football, but maybe you could get them in basketball. Although, after watching them knock off a really good Pearl Cone team, I don't. The good news is for Giles, that wouldn't be till the championship game, I guess, at this point.
Yeah. but still, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fantastic basketball game. It's been a great season, and one of the reasons that probably has a lot to do with this, how well they played after Christmas break is getting those football players back. I mean, getting them accustomed to basketball. It's a different world, and now that you've got guys who are football players who show up on the basketball court, they've had some time to get used to it, and 18 games in a row, that's hard to do.
Yeah, and that plays into it for sure. And I'm good friends with Coach Chris Murdoch over at Fayetteville, and they lost the heartbreaker yesterday. Their team is kind of like Giles County. Once they got the football players back, okay, but you still got to get them in basketball shape, so to speak. And Coach Murdoch and Coach Campbell at Giles County have said it takes a couple of games, maybe even a couple of weeks to get into that rhythm, and kind of eerily similar how those two teams kind of took off around the beginning of 23. And you're right. You got a kid like Kamari Turner. He's one of the Giles County's certainly one of their best football players. He's an all-state caliber quarterback, defensive back, any position,
everything.
Really. Yeah,
Mr. Everything.
He can do it all. And so they asked him to come out, play really good defense, bring some energy. And he does that for sure. But really, he's been a scoring threat as of late for Giles County. So that's been a fantastic boost. They've got a couple other kids that come off the bench that were on the football team. And they really have kind of bought into first-year head coach Nick Campbell during this little 18-game win streak. The longest win streak they've had dating back to 2006. So this has been a hot little minute since Giles County's been on a tear like this.
It's pretty impressive when you think that they've not lost in 2023, and it's
why start now?
And it's March 16th. You mentioned Chris Murdoch. You mentioned Fayetteville. They really lost a tough one yesterday against Chattanooga Prep. A lot closer than the final score reflects, probably. Did you get a chance to chat with him? Any comments, any thoughts that you can relate in a public forum?
Well, the good news is I didn't get a chance to speak to him super privately yesterday. We're going to maybe chat later this afternoon, but he was obviously very proud of the effort that his guys gave. He was extremely proud of the effort they had yesterday, but you could sense that, he was a little perturbed by a few particular plays and calls maybe that went against Fayetteville in the fourth quarter or second half really of that basketball game yesterday. So that's one that's going to sting, I think, for that Fayetteville team, because they had a really good squad this year. They had a really solid senior class. And but take nothing away from Chattanooga Prep, though, because they were a fantastic team. And the crazy part is they're all underclassmen, and they looked like a team that was full of upperclassmen yesterday. So it was unfortunate, Fayetteville and Giles County. Chris Murdoch's a Richland alum, so he's got some good tie-in and buy-in with our community, and we certainly wanted to see those guys do well, but they just unfortunately fell short yesterday. Like you said, it was a little more deceptive than the final score may indicate, because they were winning with just a couple minutes left in that game.
They were up by one with 2 minutes to go, and then we talked about it on the air, the technical foul, following a personal foul. They made all 4 free throws, and that was it. And, from what I understand, he still doesn't know what happened. And to me, and we talked to Gene Manise yesterday, that's one thing that, I don't understand. As a fan, I certainly don't understand it if you're a coach. I need to know. We talked about it. If you want me to correct my kids' behavior, you need to tell me what they did.
Yeah,
and he has no idea at this point.
That was kind of what was shared yesterday. Also, is that he was still waiting on that explanation, and it was said, it was written, and unfortunately, now it's kind of quote unquote old news. But yeah, yesterday it was the buzz here in the Murphy Center was 2 technicals given out and didn't really get an explanation on either one. And like I said, that's one that's going to sting with Fayetteville for a while, I'm afraid.
And it's tough for the fact that the last time they were here, didn't they suffer a significant injury while they were here?
Yes, I want to say it's Mr. Floyd Williams. Who ends up going to Freed Hardeman for a little bit, and they played a really good Columbia Academy team, obviously, who goes on to win the whole thing. They're playing well in the first half. Floyd has 14, 15 points in the second quarter early and tears his knee up. And so they've been, unfortunately, kind of snake bit now in their 2 opportunities here. Still looking for that first ever state tournament win. Thought maybe yesterday was a really good chance. They had, like I said, a great senior group. They also got in some foul trouble in addition to the technicals yesterday. Had a lot of issues with Chattanooga Prep's defense. They really put a lot of pressure on them, so that's why I say you got to tip your cap to the Sentinels, as it were, yesterday. They played well against Fayetteville, and Fayetteville hadn't been really, I think, taken to the limit like that since we started this 23 calendar, like you guys had mentioned with Giles County, a little bit of their run as well.
It's interesting.
Wade Neely, sports editor of the Pulaski Citizen, part of the Main Street Media family, joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Wade, we love you, but we're going to ask you to make way for another guy that we love. It's nothing personal.
Hey,
strictly business.
Strictly business.
Hey, who's your national champion?
I've got Houston.
It's
not a trendy, flashy pick.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
Give me UConn maybe in the final, getting close into the Final Four too.
I got Houston and UConn on the Final Four too.
We'll chat a little bit more about that in a future day. I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Charles. Hopefully real soon.
Charles just left.
Are you serious?
So
maybe he's coming around.
No, he's over there. Well, Wade, maybe we can continue that conversation.
A battlefield promotion, yeah.
Y'all just what? Man, I don't. The old switcheroo just happened right there.
We just
Charles is leaving.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Charles said, "I ain't got time for this."
Charles is working right now.
Charles is working right now,
so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on
that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
We
never mind.
We come up yesterday picking our Final Four, and surprisingly, both had Kansas State in the Final Four taking on Alabama. So I'm interested to see how this day is going to go and how Tennessee's going to act this evening, and all of the things that go with that. But this basketball tournament seems like it's just anybody's from the start.
And we've been saying it for the last 6 weeks, 2 months. You feel like this thing is as wide open this year as it has been in a long time.
Ever.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I get. And, I kind of was, I don't want to say a prisoner, but I was keeping up with Giles County a whole lot more this year, unfortunately, than I was in previous seasons. So I haven't tapped into college basketball quite as much this year. But that was the buzz all year long, is it's completely wide open. And at the end of the day, I think you're going to see still a couple of 1 seeds, maybe sprinkle in there. Houston obviously dealing with some injury issues. If they can kind of get back on the right track, I think they'll be in good shape. Yeah, I get a feeling it could go 7, 8, 9 teams realistically have a legit shot of winning this thing this year.
Speaking of Houston.
And yet all of those teams could also lose in the first or second round.
Exactly.
Which is what's so wild.
Yeah, speaking of Houston's injury situation, I just saw, and now I can't find it because I hate Facebook. AP All-American team, I think, was announced today, and Marcus Sasser from Houston, who is the kid who strained a groin in their tournament semifinals, I think, was named first team All-American, along with Purdue's Zach Edey, Indiana's Trace Jackson Davis, Jalen Wilson of Kansas, and former Cane Ridge standout Brandon Miller of Alabama, who now is SEC Player of the Year, SEC Freshman of the Year, SEC Tournament MVP, and first team All-American.
That seems good.
What's he going to do for an encore?
Yeah.
Go to the NBA?
Yeah.
There's no encore.
Yeah. I'm going to Disney World. Yeah. I hope folks in Tuscaloosa have enjoyed him, because
he will not be back.
Yeah, I think that's about as sure of a bet as anything. And Alabama is kind of the question mark to me. They are so good. They're so talented. But how many times over the years have we seen that surefire team that you think is going to automatically get to the title game or get to even the Final Four, and then something happens along the way and they stub their toe? I think Alabama probably good enough and probably will make the Final Four, but I wouldn't be shocked, kind of like Chris was alluding to, if they end up not making it down there.
Oh yeah, I think again, I just think that speaks. I think that speaks less to Alabama though than it does to just how wide open this tournament is. I think that there, like you said, or maybe 8 teams that could win the whole thing. I mean,
that's the product of the good part of the transfer portal and the COVID years and all of the things that have kind of taken place. College basketball and college football outside of Georgia have really been a lot more fun over the last couple of years, just because you don't know what's going to happen week to week.
Yeah,
or day to day.
Yeah. So that part is for sure, and the sense of parity seems to be enhanced. Obviously, in basketball, a little more heightened, but in football, to your point, even correct. And this thing kicks off. Tennessee doesn't have just a straight up gimme tonight by any stretch.
I think they do,
but I personally think they do too. But I've had some friends that say not so fast. He's got BVS, and I understand that battered ball syndrome is real. I get it, but
I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm right there in the same boat. And Duke, not going to necessarily have an easy test. Oral Roberts is a really good team.
Remind us to tell you a story off air.
Oh, goodness.
I can't wait.
That should be on Wild and Wacky, but it can't be.
But sorry, tournament basketball, I mean, it's so much fun. It's so electric. And being in a place like the Murphy Center here, it's hard not to just – you guys were here yesterday. We were here all day yesterday. It's just fun to just sit back and just take all the tournament in. The first couple of days of these tournaments are by far the most fun I have all year.
Oh, yeah. It's always great to be here. Been coming to these state tournament games on some level for more than 30 years now, and it's always exciting. It's always fun, man. So Wade Neely, sports editor of the Pulaski Citizen, joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Chris, where are we? What do we need to get to?
We need to get to some of the weirdest and wildest stories from across the world and Florida on Wild and Wacky Wednesday. Wade, you are welcome to stay and react to the ridiculousness that's about to happen.
I love it. Hit me with some.
Oh, well, we'll start in Jacksonville, Florida, where a man was set to be cremated. And all is well, typically. Friends and family came to Jacksonville, Florida to pay their respects to Kevin Witherspoon and say that final goodbye. But the final goodbye was, well, unfortunately, didn't happen. Because he was cremated before his funeral. So instead of a funeral, they had a memorial service for the poor folks. They took care of my mom really good, so I was expecting them to do the same with my brother. His sister said, I went down there yesterday to check on the clothes for him, and they didn't say anything. They said everything was fine, but later on, around 4 p.m., they called me and told me they accidentally cremated.
Accidentally cremated.
I just that's something right there.
That's a fear I didn't know I had till just now. But now I have that.
I've said it once. I'll say it again. Timing is everything.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
So down in Florida, they do weird stuff like try to beat up the police and run away from the police, or just spit on the police. And in Cape Coral, a man spat on an officer and then tried to leg sweep him. Following his arrest, 26-year-old Skylar Watson was causing a disturbance at a restaurant. There seems to have been some disturbance. Pardon me, sir, did you see what happened? Yeah, it did. According to Cape Coral Police Department, he was drunk and angry after a fight at the local bar. Well, of course, he was angry because he was in a fight.
Right.
So instead of ending the fight, he just kept it going. We have new combatants.
Keep the party going.
keep the party going. He threw his hands in the officer's face and began to shout profanities and was unwilling to answer questions when asked by police. Once he tried to leg sweep officers while being placed in handcuffs, he was put into the patrol car, and then he spat in the officer's face. So now he faces battery charges on top of everything else.
Bad decisions.
You know, pile it on. Just pile it on and pile it on. That's basically what happened.
Sure, in for a penny, in for a pound, right?
I don't have a picture of this, but I wish I did. There is a picture of a roofing company up north that snow had piled on top of and the roof fell in.
Okay.
Oh.
That's not great for advertising.
No.
I'm just saying.
One way to do it. Yeah, I was waiting on an additional punchline there.
No.
You're saying that is that.
That's the punchline.
That is. Yeah, no. That is.
That's not ideal.
It's like who cuts the barber's hair, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
not great marketing, like you said.
No, the marketing is going to end there. Oh, well, I've got that's all I've got for Wild and Wacky this week. We had a long discussion yesterday with Team Hayes, didn't get to it, and then I somehow deleted the Wild and Wacky stories. So I'm just I have a Twitter list, though, and they're pretty funny. Florida man thinks he may die before surgery, so he tries to prepay for his wife's birthday cake.
that's sweet.
I mean, that was nice of him.
Noble gesture.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think you're going to die, I mean.
You want to feel like you've taken care of your people, you know?
Sure. You know. He took a sweet deal and made it to the other side. He he explained to me that during previous surgery, the same issue he had briefly passed and required resuscitation. He died during a similar surgery and required resuscitation.
Oh.
And being afraid it would happen again, he wanted to ensure the burden of paying for the cake would not fall on his wife if he didn't survive.
Paying for her own cake?
And so the cupcake lady posted a TikTok video, and the 73-year-old customer submitted his offer. And she said, well, we're not taking his money. We're going to take his money. This is such a nice gesture. We're giving you the cake for free.
So he got free cupcakes for his wife.
He got free cake.
And he didn't die.
And he didn't die.
Playing the long game.
This may be the thing here.
I think that's the best of both worlds. He got free cupcakes and he didn't die.
That's the best day.
That is. That's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Free cupcakes and you live?
I'll take it.
Yes, please.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here again. This is Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are back tomorrow, 2 o'clock from 2 until 3:30. We will be at Murphy Center at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships. Thanks to Jones & Lang Sporting Goods for making that happen. And the Lee Company. Make sure if you are looking at the screen, you see that QR code. Go ahead and scan that QR code and check out what Lee Company can do for you. Wade, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Also, thanks to Caden Anderson of MLK for being on Coach's Corner earlier today.
But no thanks to Charles Pulliam.
But no thanks to Charles Pulliam, who is working.
He's still down there.
Still for that. But no, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. See you then.